Saturday brought along a full slate of college football action, but tucked into the day was a high school football contest that featured the Washington Warriors, who looked to improve to 3-2 on the season. Team standing in their way was the Rapid City Central Cobblers. Beginning in the first quarter, Washington already up 20-0 when Thomas Hoffman's pass intercepted by Jackson Verminson. He's heading back the other way, and he's got some space weaving through traffic down inside the 15-yard line. Couple plays later, on 4th and 1, after bobbling the snap, they pick it up, and the Cobblers punch it in. So wait a second here, we got ourselves a bit of a ball game, thinking upset. But on the ensuing drive, the Warriors would go right to the ground game. It's Gabriel Cantor would walk into the end zone untouched for 6. Washington goes on to win this one 41-21 over Rapid City Central. Fresh off back-to-back victories, the South Dakota State Jackrabbits would head down to Springfield, Missouri for a top 6 FCS showdown with the Missouri State Bears. A week ago, Missouri State almost beat Arkansas, so you'd figure they'd have some confidence coming into this one. But early on, it was all NDSU. Opening quarter, Jackson Yonke on the end around. He's got daylight inside the 5-yard line, down at the 3. Couple plays later, Jackson shotgun formation. Mark Gronowski looking to his right, firing, and he's got Jaden Yonke in the corner for the game's first score. Jackrabbits take a 7-0 lead on the road. Missouri State now on offense. They're in the red zone. Jason Shelley off play action, looking, intercepted. Kobe Herter coming back the other way. The sophomore from Texas down the sideline, across midfield, going to cut it back at about the 30, and he's taken down at the 24-yard line. So the Jacks offense in business. Moments later, Gronowski just saw him make a pass to Jaden Yonke. This one to his twin brother Jackson. He had 8 catches on the day for 83 yards and a score. 14-0 SDSU. This game was tied in the 4th quarter, and that's when Gronowski goes to the big fella, the tight end. Zach Hines had a career day, 7 catches, 127 yards. Jacks back in front. And then with 2.5 minutes left in the game, they're trying to put it on ice. They go back to Jaden Yonke, and the kid makes things happen. Down the sidelines, in for a second score. SDSU goes on to pick up the big-time road win, 28-14 over Missouri State. Down in Vermillion, USD, they had quite the challenge, welcoming in the #1 ranked team in the FCS, NDSU Bison. Off the heels of an USD fumble, Bison take their first lead of the game as Kobe Johnson waltzes in from 2 yards out. Bison up 10-3 in the first. Under a minute to play now in the half. Yotes inside the NDSU 5. They're going to give it to Travis Tice. Little muscle there to get across the goal line. Got ourselves a tied ball game at 10. Bison's first play of the ensuing drive now, trying to get maybe a couple points before the end of the half. But Dominic Ganella here is going to cough it up, and USD jumps on the opportunity. It's Josiah Ganures. He's got the recovery. Yotes in business. First play following that fumble, Carson Camp. Wesley Elidor across the middle, and he zooms on into the end zone for the 28-yard score. USD with a 17-10 lead heading into halftime. But in the 3rd quarter, the #1 team in the land would wake up on 3rd and short. Great block there from the offensive line. They would spring it to the left there. That's Cam Miller in for the 13-yard score. Game tied at 17. Next Bison possession, back right in the red zone. They feed Hunter Lipke. The fullback would rumble in for the go-ahead touchdown, and they wouldn't look back. NDSU scores 24 unanswered in the second half as they pick up the 34-17 victory over USD.
I'm not discouraged, in any way, shape, or form. Certainly, we got to be better offensively than we were in the second half. But I thought our guys competed and battled, and I think there's a lot of things off today's game that we can build on, but certainly a number of things that we've got to improve upon as well.
A matchup of undefeated in Sioux Falls with Northern State in town taking on Augustana. First quarter, no score, but the Wolves knocking on the doorstep. However, this pass intercepted by Peyton Buckley. He's heading back the other way. Got a little space here down the right sidelines to about the 20-yard line. Huge play there from the sophomore. Augie offense right back on the field. After a few first downs, they give it to David Ado. He sheds a couple tacklers, and his legs would do the rest. 32-yard touchdown. He finished with a game-high 64 yards on the ground. Augustana up 7-0 at home. Second quarter we go. Northern State back on offense. Will Madler scrambling, trying to buy some time, scanning, looking, firing. This pass intercepted. The Vikings defense there. It's Caden Lynott. Another turnover for the Vikes. They'd force 3 in total on the day. Thomas Colton and company now back on offense. Little play action here. Launching downfield. He's got Logan Utek. Nice sliding grab there in bounce. Colton to throw for 133 and a score. Augustana remains unbeaten, winning 21-13 over Northern State. A good one across town at Bob Young Field. USF and Minnesota Duluth. Late third quarter, coup up 3. Take a look here at the balance from Thurl Reisdorfer. Beautifully done there on his way for a 9-yard score. He finished with 100 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns as well. USF up 27-17. But here comes UND. Look at the play design here. Beautiful misdirection. Then a couple sweet moves from Byron Bynum. And he's into the end zone. 27-24 Bulldogs back within just 3. After a Landon Freeman fumble, don't look now, but here comes the Bulldogs. They go right back to Mr. Bynum. A little leap, and he's into the end zone. Duluth takes a 31-27 lead with 6 minutes left to play. Next coup possession, Adam Mullen firing to his right, intercepted. Davia Gabor, suddenly it looks like this would be the Bulldogs' day, but the coup defense would do their part. They would hold them to a field goal attempt. UMD would miss the field goal attempt, giving the ball right back to the coup offense, and they were ready for their moment. This time, Mullen rolling to his right, and he fires a strike, and that's going to go for a first down. So USF creeping closer to that red zone. 45 ticks left on the clock. They go to the senior Reisdorfer, and he would walk in from a few yards out, and that would prove to be the game winner. USF moves to 4-0 in dramatic fashion, 34-31 over UMD. That's your look at sports.